This super quick, simple tutorial is going to show you exactly how to set up an Etsy shop. This tutorial is for anyone who has never set up a shop or it's been a really long time and maybe you forgot. So use my link to get 40 free listings and then you're going to end up here. Simply click open your Etsy shop and then you're going to use an email. Enter in your first name and choose a password that's fairly secure. And when you're setting up your Etsy shop, be sure to look at these fees. I do have some other videos that cover the fees more in depth, but this is super important whenever it comes to pricing the items that you're selling. You have to be able to factor that in, right? You have to be able to make a profit. That's super important. And these fees are going to be critical in you figuring out how much each item should cost. Your shop preferences are going to be set up English, United States dollar. If those don't apply to you, make sure you change them. And then it asks which of these best describes you. Selling is my full-time job. I sell part-time but hope to sell full-time. I sell part-time and that's how I like it, or then you can click other. Save and continue. And then you need a shop name. So we'll just see if my blog name is available. It is. Now you have to add a listing before it will let you go any further. So what you can do is just set up a sample. Like if you're not ready to set up a true listing, just click add listing, add photo, just choose a random photo. That's totally fine. Now when you're setting up an actual listing, which I do cover more in detail in other videos, you want to make sure you use as many of these photos as you can. Your title is going to be something simple. These are all things I sell in one of my shops. Sample product listing is what I'm going to list it as. And now you have to fill this out in detail. There are a lot of required fields. So on Etsy, you either have to make it or a member of your shop, or if it's another company or person, you have to add that company in. You have to tell them what it is. Is it a finished product or is it a supply? And then you have to say, okay, is it made to order or did you make it this year, last year, or is it vintage? Made to order is how all of my items are. And then your category. There's tons of options, so take your time, go through. If you're not sure which category they'll fall under, go over to Etsy.com, search for similar items to what you're selling and see where they have them. Now there's some optional items like primary color, secondary color, style, room, etc. If you're selling something that has dimensions, put the height, width, and depth in right here. You put it in there and then you also put it in your Etsy listing description because unfortunately a lot of customers do not read the listings. So you want to just make sure you have it in as many places as you can to be as helpful as possible. And this is mostly to obviously make the customers happy, but also to avoid bad ratings. I have I think one review that was a 3 or 4 stars. Most of them are 5 stars, but I remember one that was 3 or 4 stars and she said, well, it was kind of small. It said the measurements in the listing, but it was kind of small. So she admitted that she saw that it was a 3x5 box, but then she said it was small. So sometimes you'll get customers like that. So just to protect yourself and, to make sure that your customers get exactly what they're wanting, fill this out in as much detail as you possibly can. And then right here it says renewal options. I choose automatic because what happens is after a few months, your listing, if it doesn't sell, is going to expire, which means it's going to leave your shop. I don't want that to happen. If something doesn't sell, I want it to automatically renew so it still has a chance to sell. If your item doesn't sell in a few months, maybe you should look at why it's not selling. You don't want to keep paying that 20 cents to renew when it's never going to sell. You want to fix that and tweak your description and maybe your photos. And then the type of item. Are you selling a tangible item that you're going to actually ship, or are you selling a digital item? A lot of my items are digital, but I also have a shop where I ship physical items. Your description. You want to make a description that is very clear, very simple, and very detailed, which simple and detailed might not seem like they go together. I want you to keep it simple. I don't want you to overcomplicate it, but I want you to give as many details as possible. Imagine the person cannot see the item they're buying. You need to describe it and talk about it. Imagine it in their home. Describe it in words that will make them want to buy it and want to incorporate it into their life. Why do they need the item that you're selling? If you're doing print on demand, this is where you would add a new production partner. There are some other options and some other times where this would fit, but print on demand is the main thing I use this for. And then you have sections for your shop. Section 1, Section 2, Section 3. You're going to name these actual words of your items. For example, in my other shop, I have mystery boxes, tarot boxes, decor, witchy prints. I have everything organized to where if someone is just wanting a spell oil, for example, they can click on that and then see what I have as options for spell oils. There are some character limits, so they've got to be kind of short, but they can be fairly descriptive as well. And then tags, these are important. Tags are important. I'm going to say it again. Tags are important. You want to use all 13 tags. And this is going to be difficult at first. Tags are just descriptive words. Think about words that your customers would type in to find your products. Are they going to type in a tarot box to find your tarot box? And then maybe they're going to type in wooden box. Or maybe they're going to type in tarot cards. It doesn't matter what it is. You just want to think about, okay, what would people type in this box to find my product? You don't want cutesy names. You don't want misspelled names. You want actual keywords that people would use to find your products. You can also add in the materials you've used or your ingredients, like with my spell oils. Your price. I need to do a whole video series on pricing because pricing is something I've always been terrible at, but I finally nailed it with my newest Etsy shop. Pricing is just this delicate balance between providing value and making profit and, all of these things, right? So pricing is what I would spend the most energy on if you're limited. If you're saying, okay, I only have 10 minutes to work on something. Okay, I need to figure out my pricing formula. And then you work, even if it's in 10-minute increments, to get that pricing formula down before you start opening your shop. Okay, you can open it and you can change the prices. You can always raise the prices or lower the prices, but having your pricing structure on point as soon as you open your shop is going to give you such a head start compared to other shops that are just opening. Quantity is the next option here, and honestly, I put quantity 1 for everything because people like to shop, right? But if they're afraid that they're going to miss out, they're going to shop more. So if it says there's only 1 left, which you could see, I showed you over here, these all say only 1 left. If someone is on the fence about buying something and they see that only 1 left, it's going to give them a little push, and it may push them to buy right then. And then as soon as you hear that cha-ching and you get that sale, you go in and you renew it so someone else can buy it if you have more of that quantity or if the item is made to order. Make sure that you stay on top of your inventory. I don't want you putting this as quantity 10 and then only having enough materials to make 5 of them. You want to make sure your customers stay extremely happy, especially on Etsy, where 1 or 2 bad reviews can really hurt your shop. Your SKU option here is if you're carrying inventory and organizing things by number or SKU, this is where you would put it in. Only you can see this. And then if you want to offer personalization, then you're going to turn this on, and it's going to ask, okay, how do we personalize this? If you're selling a digital file, you're going to click upload and you're going to attach the digital file here. This is what makes digital files so simple. You don't have to do anything. You can sell the same item over and over and over again, even though you only made it once. And Etsy delivers the files for you. You don't even have to deliver the files. Click Save and Continue. So then after you have your sample product listing, you're going to click Save and Continue. And then you're going to add your bank information, which I'm obviously not going to do on the live video. When you click Save and Continue, it's going to ask you to set up your billing, which is going to be something similar. So you're going to have to put in your account information, and then your shop is technically ready to go, but you want to make sure that you cover a few bases, which you're going to need to have a cover photo. And what I do is I just go to Canva to make mine. So go to Canva, it's canva.com. It's free to use. And you can create your Etsy header here. You can create your Etsy logo. You want to fill out your welcome message and then situate your shipping as well. Again, I'm not going to do all this on the live video because I would have to go get my bank account info, but those are the basics of setting up your shop from a technical standpoint. We're going to talk about setting up your shop for success and how to make your shop more successful in other videos. Check out how to name your shop if you need ideas on that. I have profitable niche ideas, digital product ideas, Etsy essentials, all kinds of videos to help you set up your Etsy shop without having to pay a fortune for all of these courses that I see everywhere. So if you guys have questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments below. I would love to help answer them.